Hello lovelies and welcome to this week's video. Thank you for joining me. Apologise, it's a bit gloomy. It's really horrible weather here today and this is about as light as this room is going to get right now, so I apologise if it's a little bit dark. I wanted it to be better but can't control the weather, unfortunately. Can't believe it's nearly July and we're still putting up with pouring rain. It's ridiculous. I want my summer. So today we're going to be talking about a crystal grid to help you with the next 6 months of your year or beyond. We've spoken a lot this month about refocusing on goals and going to get what you want and things like that. So we're going to focus today on creating a grid to help you work towards that goal and fulfill that intention. So a crystal grid, if you've not used one before, is really, really helpful because it focuses a whole collection of crystals, a whole selection of crystals onto one goal. And it prevents you from having to carry around a big pouch of crystals or have loads of them around you or remembering to bring them with you and use them in certain ways. If you've set these crystals out in a grid, they can be left alone, focusing 24/7 on this goal or intention that you have set for it. So we're going to go through today a very simple grid of that will include stones for inner strength, motivation, drive, goal setting, focus, clarity, all of those kind of things mixed together, all those wonderful energies that you need to combine to move you along on your path, move you forward towards where you want to be. So I will put at the end of the video, I will put a photograph up, a still up of the finished grid so that you can see what it looks like. You can pause it, screenshot it, whichever you want to do, so that you know if you want to make this grid yourself, you know what it's supposed to look like. So that will be at the end of the video. But throughout the video, I'm just going to explain the stones that we're going to be using and why we're using them. So I'll go through the grid in quite a brief way because you may not have ever created a grid before, or you may be used to it. So I'm going to kind of keep it brief for the purposes of the video. But basically a grid consists of a center stone, which is where you place your intention or your goal. Then sometimes there's another ring. Well, actually it can be as big as you want, but in a basic grid of a center stone, a middle ring, which are your way stones, which are going to carry energy from the outside to the center. And then we have your outer ring, which are your destination stones, which are the stones that carry all these different meanings and bring all their energies in. So they send their energies through the inner ring, which is the way stones, which go into the center stone, which is what's sat in on top of your intention or goal if you physically write it down. So we'll go through all the crystals you'll need to make this grid, and like I say, the photo will come up at the end of the video for you to take a look at as well. So our center stone in this grid is going to be a nice general overall all-round great healer, and that is rose quartz. Rose quartz is a really, really versatile stone. You can use it for so many different things. So you would write down your goal or intention on a piece of paper. You can fold it up, place it in the middle of your grid and place this stone on top of it. So you can use rose quartz, you could use clear quartz, you could use amethyst. Any of those kind of master healer, general healer stones will work as your center stone. And rose quartz is a really loving healer, so it's one of my favorites to use as a center stone on a grid. Then as I mentioned, the outer ring, we have the whole of the outer ring you'll see on the photograph is made up of clear quartz crystals. This is because these are the kind of joining crystals between your specific stones to the center stone. So a clear quartz is a really good one because it's, again, very versatile, full of positive energy, and it helps to amplify the energies of any crystals that it's used with. So it's ideal for this kind of situation. So using an inner ring of clear quartz is ideal, and it's really easy to come by. So if you need a whole bunch of them, that's quite easy to get, to buy a bag of clear quartz crystals. So then the outer ring, which is what contains all of our destination stones, desire stones. You may have heard them called either or. And these are the specific stones which relate to whatever it is that you've put in the middle. So in this case, it's about achieving goals, going towards what you want to do by the end of the year or into next year, or an all round, maybe like a 5-year plan. This grid is going to be for the long term. Generally speaking, grids are left out for about a month. 30 days is a minimum, I would say, for them to do their work. But if it's an ongoing goal and you want to just have it with you throughout the whole time, it doesn't matter how long you leave it out, as long as it's not out getting caked in dust and things. So if you do have to clean off your crystals, you'll just need to reassemble them and reactivate the grid. And we'll talk about activating the grid shortly after we've gone through these crystals that we're going to use. So I've got 7 crystals here that we're going to use on the outside of the grid. First one here, I've got mahogany obsidian. So mahogany obsidian is, as you can see, it's this lovely kind of mahogany colour, and there's flecks of the black obsidian inside, and this is an empowerment stone. This is great for empowerment, for decision making, for inner strength, for grounding. So it's a really good one to have in the outer ring of your goals crystal grid. Another one we have is fluorite. This is little specks of purple and green, so it's like a pale cut of rainbow fluorite, really. And this is great for focus. So I used this kind of fluorite quite a lot when I was studying, when I took exams, and when I was revising, because it helps to eliminate distractions. It helps with focus. It helps with memory recall. All of those kind of things. So it's to kind of keep your mind straight. And that's fluorite. Another crystal we're going to use is amazonite. Now this is a great healer, amazonite. It's a wonderfully nurturing stone. It's green, so it works really well with the heart chakra. So it has all these lovely healing qualities, but it's also linked to abundance and prosperity and wealth. So your goal may not be a financial goal, it may not be a money-making goal. But don't think of abundance and prosperity just in terms of money. Of course, that is what they are most known for, but it's also about anything you want an abundance of in your life. It could be an abundance of friends, abundance of love, abundance of time, and it could be abundance of money as well. So there's all sorts of things. So this is about opening yourself up to receiving and being happy to receive what you deserve to receive and what it is that you want to receive and achieve. That's what I was trying to say. So that's amazonite. Then we have tiger's eye. So tiger's eye is a really good balancing stone. It works really well with the solar plexus as well. So this is, if you're feeling a bit emotional, you're feeling a bit wobbly, maybe a bit anxious, a bit panicked, then tiger's eye can bring all that kind of back to center and bring all that kind of balancing feeling to you. So when we're going for our goals and we're going for things that we want to achieve, sometimes we're going to have down days, and you can have days where you wobble and you just think you want to chuck it all in and you can't do it anymore. So the tiger's eye is really good to bring you back to feeling balanced, bring back some just bring you back to thinking rationally and back on track, basically. So tiger's eye is a great one to have in there. Then we have carnelian. Carnelian is a great orange stone, so it works really well with sacral chakra, which is orange. So this is a really good one for some inner strength, helping how you feel deep down. It's all about your emotions, how you're dealing with things, and yeah, like I say, boosting that inner strength and that kind of remembering why you're doing it and how you want to feel and things like that. So this is kind of, excuse me, I'm going to have just a sip of my drink because my voice is going all croaky and it's not nice. Sorry. That's better. So carnelian is a good one to have in this mix, in this grid, because it helps kind of tune you back into yourself and remember why you're doing it and give you that kind of inner strength boost. Then another stone we have for the outer ring is mookaite. Absolutely love this stone. No two pieces of this stone look the same. As you can see, there's so many different colours on this stone. So this is mookaite. It's a form of jasper. And again, it's a really good goal setting, goal getting stone because it brings an energy with it for decision making, for you, allowing you to be able to look at the whole situation, different scenarios, weigh them up, pros and cons, and make the right choice for you. So if you need to go through an exercise like that, making your list of different options, thinking about how certain scenarios would play out, their pros and cons, then mookaite's a great stone to have with you. So that's why it's a great stone for this grid as well, because if you're trying to move forward and there's things that you want to achieve, then you're going to need that kind of open mind as well, and be adaptable, and also being able to stick by your decisions as well once you've made them. So mookaite for that. And the final stone I'm going to talk about is goldstone. So goldstone is this wonderful kind of, I don't know if the sparkles really show up on camera. They might do a little bit, little sparkles. So goldstone is linked to ambition and motivation and drive and willpower, and getting you to stick to it and get you moving and really kind of pushing you along. So that's why this is a great one for this grid. It's a really good energy boost. So those are the stones. Like I said, I'll put up the photo at the end of the video for you to see, and that they're going to form the outer ring of the grid. So once you've set up your grid, you've put your intention in the middle, put your rose quartz on, you can use your clear quartz ring, and then you've got these stones on around on the outside as well. Then you need to activate your grid. Very, very simple. You just need a crystal point. Generally speaking, a clear quartz point is great because it's, like I say, it's very versatile. It's a master healer, can be used for a lot of things. So if you can't get a rough cut point, which sometimes you might not have a rough cut point in your collection, then if you can find a piece which does come to a point, because you want something, so this one is like a triangular point to it here. It's just so that when you're activating the grid and you just want a focused line of energy, that's why it should be like a point. So if you can get a piece that is shaped this way, or has or if you do have a rough cut piece which comes to a point, and you can use that, or if you have a crystal wand, then that can be used as well. Anything that's kind of coming down to a point, and you can visualize like a point of energy, a stream of energy coming from it. So then to activate a grid, it's the same for any grid. It's using your quartz point, your crystal point, and from the outside in, drawing an invisible line between all of the crystals, linking them all together with this invisible energy line from this quartz point. So just, you may want to do this as a kind of part of a almost, I want to say the word ritual, but sounds a bit dramatic, but it's kind of like a point to kind of finish off your grid and get it working. So you might want to just take a breath, clear your mind, and focus on, and then focus on your intention as you do it. So it's kind of a bit of a way to kind of finish off and really put your energy into the grid as well. And then draw an invisible line between all of the crystals, linking them all together to that center stone. And that's it. That's your grid activated. And it can now be left for as long as you need, minimum of 30 days usually, because we're in it for the long game, not in it for quick fixes. That's not what this is about. Sorry, I just want to make sure they're not all going to fall off. So that's it. That's all you need to do. And then you don't have to have these grids out in the open. You can place them in a drawer. They can be under something. As long as they're not going to be disturbed, they're going to work just the same. You obviously don't want people coming in and picking them up and disturbing the grid, because if that happens, then you're going to have to cleanse the stones from that person's energy and then reactivate the grid. If it's you picking them up and you're cleaning them, if they've been out for a while and they've got a bit dusty, that's fine, place them back. But you must remember, because you've kind of broken those energy bonds, if you like, you do need to go with your point and reactivate it if you've moved any of the crystals. So that's it. It's a very, very simple practice to put a grid together. They can be as simple or as elaborate as you like, and it's just a way then of having a number of crystals all focused on one thing without you having to carry like 20 crystals around with you, which some people do. I've got clients who carry an awful lot of crystals around, and we've kind of worked together to say, well, what can we do to streamline this so that they're working best for you, but you haven't got to carry them all around with you all the time. And grids are a really good way to do that. If you do want to learn more about grids in a bit more detail about how to make them, different options, different crystal combinations that you can use, then I'll put a link in the description below to my crystal grids and combinations online course. There's loads of information. It's a video based course, and there's also grid templates to download and other resources as well, and you take it completely at your own pace. So that link is in the description, as well as links in the description to my website, which is where you'll find a whole range of my courses and how you can talk to me more and we can work together more about figuring out what crystals are right for you. So take a look at that. Thank you very much for joining me today. That kind of wraps up what I wanted to talk about. If you want to see other crystal videos that I have done, then take a look in the playlist in the corner there. And if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, then hit the icon there. By subscribing, you always see when my crystal videos come out, and you'll keep up to date with any news I have as well. And also stay tuned for the picture of that crystal grid, and I will speak to you next week. Take care. Bye.